Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 56. I am Evan,
And I'm Ja.
and this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. How are you this Saturday afternoon, Ja? Start of the weekend.
Gotta live lavish, okay. You know the vibes. You know where I'm at. I mean, you know where I'm at. Come on, man. You know where I'm at right now. All right, we're not gonna give out any kind of location or anything, but you know the vibe.
Ladies and gentlemen, he did not pay for that. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day. As I said, start of the weekend, so relax, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your time while
Oh,
it
you already know.
lasts.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself right now.
Yeah, I see. And somebody
Why you
else's
working hard? Why you working hard, man? I'm enjoying myself right now.
with somebody else's money. But a lot of basketball action from last night. A lot of good quality games, not anything boring or uninteresting, which is exciting for us basketball fans. So let's get into it. First, starting off with the last game of the night, which featured the red hot Utah Jazz up against the fully healthy Los Angeles Clippers. That's right. You heard me right. Paul George back, Kawhi Leonard back, and they came with
Good play.
they came to play. They came to play. Um, as I said, Paul George and Kawhi, they showed up for this game. They balled out. You see the energy with the Clippers. They had energy even when they were out. But now they
Yeah.
have the energy and the skill.
Yep.
The superstar talent skill.
Yeah.
So when you put that into action, they gotta be it's got to be some firepower,
Deadly,
it's got to be some
deadly and
bombs.
dangerous. Yep.
Yep. And they showed that defense and offensively, they got to a lead against this Jazz team. Donovan Mitchell was really struggling in that first half. And by halftime, the Clippers were up against this Jazz team. But this Jazz team never quits, they never give up, and they always, always fight, and they always bring that intensity with them. So then the third quarter happened. They made their run.
Yep.
But the Clippers, being the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi back and them being fully healthy, came to a back and forth kind of battle.
Yeah.
Which you can see it was gonna go down to the last few minutes. And in the last few minutes, Clippers got hot. Patrick Beverly, big time for this Clippers team down the stretch. Really big time, was knocking down those threes. You saw Steve Ballmer pumping his fist like he always do. Red face and all. I'm the most excited owner in the league, I swear. Patrick Beverly hitting some shots. Paul George making plays. Kawhi Leonard, doing his thing. And it looked like, they opened up. They was up by 10 in the final few minutes, and it
Yeah.
looked like that was game. Jazz stayed within it, and they went on a little 6-0 run, and then they were the Clippers were up by 8 times. No, they
4.
were up by no before that.
Oh, 7, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, they was up by 7 to 8, and then Paul George got two big offense. Not Paul George. Kawhi Leonard got two big offensive rebounds. I thought that was game after that, but no, this Jazz team just does not quit. Does not quit. Like always
Hey,
have the fighting in them. Great coaching strategy by Quinn Snyder. One, Donovan Mitchell. It's a big three. Two big threes. One coming
yeah,
off a screen and a play design. And then
yeah.
another in which they choose to not call their final timeout, have them run down the court,
In
hits
the
a
heater.
three.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
hits a three, makes it. And next thing you know, they're
Down by
what
1.
down down by two, I believe. Yeah, down by two.
Yeah, down by 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
down by
down
2
by
or 1.
two.
I know fine. Yep.
The Clippers make their free throws. Clippers really didn't miss any free throws. Well, besides Kawhi Leonard's one free throw miss, but not Paul George, Patrick Beverly came up big time hitting those free throws down the stretch.
My dad.
And Donovan Mitchell had to take a tough 3-pointer in which he missed, and that was essentially game. But credit to the Jazz, they fought very hard to the final 2 seconds,
Yeah.
but that did not stop them from losing this game, and the Clippers won this game.
Yeah, man. Oh man, those closing moments felt like years, man. The way it was going, like
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell with ice water in his face when I saw him shoot those freaking two big threes. Like, you know what I mean? It just looked like
Mhm.
it was never going to end. Even though it looked like it was going to end, then the Jazz had an answer, and it just felt like it was something could change really quickly in those final moments. But you got talking about the Jazz here, you got to give them a lot of credit. Eventually a team was going to have to eventually catch up to them, but they fought hard, and I feel like even though that they lost this game, sometimes you got to fail before you can succeed again. And I feel like they still going to have a lot of momentum going against other teams going down. Like I feel like they're going to still have a big momentum going into the next game and the game after that, and we're going to see what they could do. They're not letting up. They have shown themselves. They have now proven to themselves that they could be one of the best teams. Now they're going to continue to show it. But for the Clippers, this is the message now. Whole team back. Now we putting the world on notice that, yep, we're going for a chip. We're going for a chip. When we're fully healthy, this is how dangerous we could be. In my opinion, even though I still feel like the Nets are better than them. So if that ever that finals preview right there is still
Mhm.
I still feel like the Clippers have an opportunity. The Lakers are wounded right now, so we don't know much about them, and we got to wait for AD. Um, the main focus right now should be the fact of trying to beat out that Jazz team because they're hot, and this is one of the games in which they were able to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, you see, this is what happens when you get a fully fledged out, healthy Clippers team. They are
Yeah,
hard to beat. When they're really focused and when they're healthy, they can just click on all cylinders.
yeah,
Offensively, defensively, they can hit big shots down the stretch. They have star powers. They have the bench. I mean, they have the role players. They have the coaching. Ty Lue has done a great job with this team so far this season. I
yeah,
feel like he doesn't give a guy haven't gotten enough credit for this how this unit has really come alive this season.
exactly.
And you saw this Jazz and against this Jazz team who's been playing outstanding basketball, winning 9 straight, 20 out of the last 21 or
Yeah,
19 out of the last 20, whatever.
they got a 20-1 record, a 21 record, like one loss, now two losses, but what
Yeah,
before this it was 20 wins and one loss.
yeah, and this was a great test for them. But this is just the Clippers saying like, oh yeah, y'all hot and y'all a really good team, but when we're healthy, we're damn near unstoppable.
Exactly.
Yep. This Clippers team, now with a fully healthy squad with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard staying in the lineup, they've only lost 3 games, 16-3 when they're both playing.
Yeah.
That goes to show you how great they can be when they're both on the court. But great effort by the Jazz, especially playing down to the last possible second they could play. But nonetheless, it was the Clippers that do take this win. The Clippers are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Yep. Putting the word on notice, but good heart by the Jazz though. Huge
Mm-hmm.
heart.
Yep. Well, all right. Going to the game earlier from the doubleheader on ESPN, it was the Chicago Bulls up against the Philadelphia 76ers. And this was a really, really fun and entertaining game to watch. The Sixers got out to a lead early. Um, that man right behind me had himself a game to remember. Joel Embiid had going from start to finish. Well, in the first quarter, he had 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like the Bulls could not do anything against him, as most of the league has not been able to do anything against Joel Embiid. He's an MVP candidate for a reason. He's arguably the best center in the league for a reason. He's an all-star starter for a reason.
Yeah.
And he proved that against this Bulls team. But give credit to this Bulls team. They came out and they still fought. And in those final 5 minutes, when they were down against the Sixers team, it became the Zach LaVine show.
Yeah. It did become the Zach LaVine show. The closer, and that's my player to look out for. That's my player to look out for, and I called it. I called it, man. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Zach LaVine with big shots down the stretch to help keep this game close and keep this game not out of reach and give the hope to the Bulls team. Also, credit to their bench. Thaddeus Young came up big. Archie Archie
Diacono.
Diacono, he was just full of life.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Kurt Heinrich. If anybody remember those Bulls team of a few years ago, and almost a decade ago, like
Yeah.
Kurt Heinrich was really like the spirit of really had a lot of the spirit of that team, and he had a lot of the energy, great defense, great hustle, and that's what Archie did for the Bulls last night. It
Yeah.
was really big time. Every time like they needed a bucket, every time they needed something, he was there. He was really helping them. He came out of nowhere with that.
Yeah.
That was a really good performance from him, along with the rest of the players on the bench. But like I said, Zach LaVine helped him back in the game. But in the end, it was Embiid who made big shots down the stretch, closing off his night with 50 points and 17 rebounds. His career high for points. Just absolute monster.
Mm.
And off of his back, off the strength of him, that's how they able to beat this Bulls team.
Let me tell you right now. Listen to me. If the season was to end today, that man would be the MVP in my opinion. He will have my vote for MVP. What he has been able to do for this Sixers team from start to finish, from start till now, not from start to finish, start to now, what he has done in this game, his skill set, his footwork, his ability to score from any kind of angle position on the floor, be that big body. Finally, he has been listening to what everyone said and started to stay more in the paint instead of always trying to go seek out being in the 3-point line. Because again, Stephen A said it, but he needs to get his big behind in the low block and go to work. And he has finally been doing that. And this is the things that we like to see from him. This is just the things that we like to see from him. And yet, it was mainly his show, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, the Sixers helped out when they can. Tobias Harris had a good game. Steph Curry, even though he struggled, he came up. He made shots when needed. Danny Green made shots when needed. The way Howard was doing his contribution, but it's just outside of that, it was mainly all him. And just like what you said though too about the Bulls had fight. They had a lot of heart throughout this whole game, not giving up. From before even LaVine got hot, it was Diacono, Kobe, Satoransky, Carter, all those guys contributing. And then when it came down to the important moments, of course, their closer, their star, Zach LaVine, who even though I don't feel like he's going to make the All-Star team because these coaches don't know what they're thinking. I feel he will always be an All-Star to me for sure. And yes, he had it going in that. He had it going in that final quarter. He had it going in that final quarter. Hit some big time shots to try to keep him in there, but yet the Sixers, being the best record in the East, took it over.
And yeah, and in that final minute, the Sixers defense on LaVine was exceptional.
Yeah,
LaVine had it going and helped him in the game from the final 5 minutes up until that final minute, because the Sixers clamped up on him and he was really struggling in that final minute to hit a shot. But that was credit to the Sixers defense. So I had to give them a shout out and give them the credit that they deserve for holding LaVine in that closing minute. But yeah, like you said, Embiid, surprised that you would give out your MVP pick on this early. I thought you would wait.
Hey, I said if it ended today. I'm not saying that it won't change. I'm just saying.
I'm saying, but usually you gotta wait a little bit. You gotta see more. But I'm not upset at that pick. Not upset with that pick. But yeah, good fight by the Bulls, who, like I said, last podcast, been playing really well. Been playing really good basketball as of late. Staying in that playoff hunt. But the Sixers, like you said, better team. Embiid, just a monster, just a beast. Yeah. And the Sixers able to win this game. And Embiid being the only 7-footer to score 50 points since 2006. By the way, a little stat. The man who scored 50 points in 2006, none other than European legend, future Hall of Famer himself, Dirk Nowitzki. Who else?
I thought you were going to say Kevin Garnett.
Nah, it was 2004. Nah, it was 2004. Yeah, 2006. Come on, Dirk
Nah,
went to the finals that year.
yeah, he did. He did. He was balling that season. He was balling.
Yeah, don't talk about the year after that or the finals, but yeah. Um, all right. There's a lot of other games, and Embiid wasn't the only one to score 50 in his career high from last night. But Ja, whatever game that you want to talk about first, like I said, there was a lot of interesting games.
You brought it up. Might as well go right into it.
Well, all right
he was
then.
looking. He thought he was back in Orlando. He thought he was back in the Orlando bubble,
Oh,
baby.
the Nuggets and the Cavaliers played. And let's just say there wasn't Jamal Murray wasn't there. Bubble Jamal Murray was there. And as I turn around, and the Nuggets are right there, and he's right there. That man right there that's a bucket in its purest form. You want to talk about someone who just has the hot hand, not the. You want to talk about just someone who has the hot hand. He had the hottest of hands. Like, it was unbelievable. The Cavs could not do nothing to stop him.
Hey, and for all you analytic boys that love analytics, if you want to talk about hot hand and efficiency in its pure form, that's all you got to do. Just put up the footage on him, man. Pull up the footage whenever you get an opportunity at your own home, whatsoever, and pull up the footage and just watch him, and he show you.
50 points for Jamal Murray. 50 points, shooting 84% from the field. The only other players to even shoot that high to be that efficient and shoot that high percentage from the field and score 50 points is Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain's only there because he feels like he has every earth-shattering, crazy record out there. Wilt Chamberlain's going to be up there. Wilt Chamberlain he shot 87% from the field with 50 points.
Yeah.
He has an 83% field goal rating from shooting, making 50 points. And Jamal Murray tied his second with 84% shooting from the field with 50 points. That tells you a lot about Wilt Chamberlain, but that also tells you a lot about Jamal Murray. And also, not only that, but he scored 50 points without attempting shooting. One free throw. That is an NBA record.
And
that goes to show you just how on fire he was last night.
And you see, we talk about him in such a high praise. And yet it's just like, at the same time, you want to look at him in so much disappointment too, because it's just like, this is what we want to see from you every second, every moment.
Yes. Obviously, he can't average 50. He's not Wilt. But like the past 3 games, he's been playing really well against even though against Boston and against Washington.
Yeah, Boston, Washington. And he had the high hand in Washington. He had the high hand in Washington.
He did have the high hand in Washington. Even though those resulted in losses, he played really well and he attacked and he played with aggression and he played aggressive. That's what we want to see from Jamal Murray. You wanted that bubble Jamal Murray. We want this. Me and you've been wanting. That's why we've been on him. Because he hasn't had a terrible season. Yeah, he hasn't had a bad season, but he's playing like he was before the bubble. So it's almost like the bubble didn't happen.
like a fluke.
Yeah, that's why we was on him for so much so far. But these performances and this potential that he has, it shows you why we're on him so much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there's nothing to even really talk about much with this game. The Nuggets basically ran away with it too. And it's just like, but this is what we want to see from
back.
Yeah, Jamal, this is what we want to see. We want to see you take that jump. We know you're a star. We know you're a rising superstar. We just need you to take that jump now. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Jokic with another triple double. Just throw that in there.
I like triple double, huh? I like
Yep.
triple double.
I think he's tied in the NBA for most triple doubles. I believe he is currently tied with Westbrook, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, dominating performance by the Nuggets and a dominating performance by Jamal Murray in a win against this Cavs team. All right, that was the one game that that we wanted to go over, but there's a lot of other games that happened, a lot of interesting games. So
let's go through this one brief and quick because it was a disappointment. Pels versus Suns, and let's just say the Suns had a big lead in the first
Pelicans.
quarter. The Suns
yeah.
had a big lead in the first quarter. Pelicans looked like they was going to run away with this game because then they started to gain fire and then they started winning a huge run. And they had that from all the way from the second quarter through the third quarter. And it just like something just did they forget how to play basketball? Did Zion look like he was a kid again? Like what happened here? Like nobody knows what happened all of a sudden. And let me just highlight this. Again, we talk about it all the time and it should be no question. But the main leader for the reason why the Suns even made this comeback is specifically the maestro of Chris Paul. The way he was just facilitating and just getting people in the right spot and making the right plays, right decisions and everything. And I'm not just talking about the shots he made. I'm talking about the passing, the like everything was just going down. It's all because he facilitated it. And the Suns just ran away at that point, made a huge fourth quarter. A huge fourth quarter. You talk about Chris Paul, Ayton, Devin Booker had a good game. Mikal Bridges,
Jay Crowder.
Everybody on Jay Crowder, Jay Crowder making big shots. Everybody in that Suns team just came alive in that fourth quarter. And the Pels just shrunk away after playing so well with a high, fast pace. And mind you, this is the bad thing of not having a good defensive team too.
Yeah, it's like the Pelicans thought there was only 36 minutes in the game.
Exactly.
They were about the other 12.
Yeah. They thought they was Kobe to score a certain amount of points in 3 quarters.
And they say, nah, I get it. Don't you wanna score more? You say, nah, I'll get it next game. Interesting stat about that game is that the Pelicans only scored 12 points in that fourth quarter compared to the Nuggets. The Suns 41. The Suns scored 41 points in the fourth quarter, while the Pelicans scored 12.
Yeah.
That goes to show you the game just flipped in that fourth quarter because the Pelicans they had heading into the fourth quarter, and they just forgot to play basketball.
If you're the Pelicans, this should be a real big, disappointment because this was supposed to be a game that you had in the bag and you let go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bad loss by the Pelicans, who are fighting to get back into the play-in game spot. But a good win by the Suns, trying to bounce back off that embarrassing loss against the Nets. They gave up a 25-point lead.
Yeah.
So yeah, but a good bounce back win and a dominant fourth quarter performance by them.
Yeah, and what a way to do it too. You somebody comes back on you and wins the game, and now you play against the team, and you come back on them and win the game. What a good kind of vengeance in a way.
Yeah. All right. Any other game that you would like to speak about?
Oh. The Raptors versus T-Wolves, man.
This isn't the T-Wolves.
It's
defensive game.
yeah, it was a defensive game.
It was a little sloppy game.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy game, defensive game. The Raptors was hot. Norman Powell was hot. Fred VanVleet was well. Kyle Lowry did not play, but it's just the Raptors had it going in that first quarter, and then just second and third quarter, the Timberwolves just came alive. It came alive big time. Karl Anthony Towns, Cat, what's his name?
Malik Beasley?
Yeah, Malik Beasley, not Malik Beasley, but this dude, I forgot his name. He used to play for Jake Layman. Jake Layman, he hit some big shots, you know what I mean? But yeah, most importantly, the rookie, Anthony Edwards. My God.
Just pull up the footage. That, if you haven't seen this, that is, if that season ended right now, that's dunk of the year. I mean, jeez. We want to talk about poster.
Yeah.
Jeez. If Anthony Edwards becomes a franchise player for the Timberwolves team, that's going to be a poster on everywhere. Probably will still be a
Exactly.
poster, even if he doesn't. He's going to be a poster everywhere.
Yeah.
My God, that was a monster dunk.
That was decent. I forgot what's his name? Watanabe. He
Yeah,
was looking around
Watanabe.
for a second. Yeah, he was looking around for a
I
second, like,
help.
huh? Like, help? What happened?
But yeah, that fourth quarter happened
Yeah,
because
then the fourth quarter happened, and yeah, and it was a back and forth battle, but and don't get me wrong, the Raptors looked like they had a little bit, like, of a cold streak spell going down, and then Terrence Davis
Terrence
hits a big, yep,
Davis.
yeah, Terrence Davis hits a big three from the corner wing, and that was game right there. And even though I wanted them to win, unfortunately the T Wolves ended up falling to the Raptors.
Falling to the Raptors. Terrence Davis with the big game winner.
Yeah.
And he had 11 points. All of his 11 points came in that fourth quarter. So he was big time for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, good little sloppy little defensive gritty game by both teams. But a good win by this Raptors team.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a good win.
Right now, they are the sixth seed right now if the playoffs were to start today.
Yeah.
All right. The game that I want to talk about is the Magic and the Warriors. This was a good, fun game. The Magic looked like didn't the Magic? Yeah, the Magic looked like they had it going. Evan Fournier and Vucevic was really Warriors looked like they really had no answer for either of them. Also, Terrence Ross coming off the bench, big time for them. I believe he should get some recognition for a sixth man, even though Jordan Clarkson will win it. The season was to end right now. But Terrence Ross has been playing really well for this Magic team, giving them big time buckets when they need to, giving them good bench production, giving them good scoring. So I believe he deserves some recognition, some acknowledgement. But as for the Warriors, Stephen Curry, 29, 7, and 11. What else can you say about Wardell? Kelly Oubre also had a good game. Kelly Oubre also had a good game. And this was a battle. This was a really entertaining battle. It looked like the Magic went on a run led by Fournier. Looked like this was about to be a game. And they were up 7 late. They're up by 7 late. And next thing you know, Curry, 3, good. You get a stop. Curry, another 3, good. They're down by 1. Now in that position, they have to foul so that they have to foul. They hit the free throws. The Magic hit free throws, but even still one possession game. The Warriors are down by 3, and the the defense that the Magic played on Curry. You want to talk about how the level of attention and greatness that Curry has gotten over the course of the last few years? Just pull up the footage. All the attention just goes to him, double teaming him. That is the definition of anybody but you.
Yeah.
They desperately did not want him to shoot the ball. They wanted him to pass. And he still got the shot off. But luckily for them, he missed. And that was good, tight defense by the Magic double teaming him. And thus, with that miss, that was game. And the Magic pulling off the upset against this Warriors team. So, yeah, a good win by this Magic team.
Yeah. Good one.
But all right. Before we go into the prediction, some news, just a little update about the All-Star game. The coaches have been decided. For Team Durant, their coach will be Doc Rivers. Of course, he is the coach of Philadelphia 76ers, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference. So, I mean, that's self-explanatory. He's done a really good job with the Sixers team, especially helping with their spacing that they so desperately needed from last year. As for Team LeBron, their coach will be Quinn Snyder, of course, the red-hot Utah Jazz, who's just been on a run ever since December.
Yeah.
Since late December. It feels like ever since they lost to the Knicks, they've just
Something
been
just been different, yeah.
Yeah, something's just been different. Actually not December, early January. But of course Quinn Snyder, he's done a great job with the Jazz team. He's been helped with coaching strategy and schemes and the play calling, especially the chemistry that they have is just unbelievable. That's why they're playing well. So
Yep.
brainer, yeah.
Let's just hope that Doc don't blow a lead in this game.
Oh, that was fun. Well, yeah, those are the coaches of Team Durant and Team LeBron. Of course, like I said, Team Durant, Doc Rivers, Team LeBron, Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
All right. Now it is prediction time for tonight's set of games. Only a few games for 2 nights. Also, 2 of them were postponed, so a little less. But let's get into it. First, starting off with the Warriors and the Hornets. I'm pretty sure they were looking for the James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball rookie matchup, but James Wiseman is still out. So
yeah, Warriors.
I got the Warriors as well. But probably the most interesting and most looking forward to game of the night. It is a rematch from the NBA Finals. The Miami Heat up against.
Like, he. I'm bugging.
Are you gonna let me finish?
Oh, you said NBA Finals rematch, so I already know who it is, and I got the Heat.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I gotta hype it up. I gotta build it up. Defending champions. I mean, they won the series. LeBron, Los Angeles Lakers. I know AD's still out, but damn.
They won't do it right now, bro. They won't do it right now. And they need that Warrior, to get bounce back. You know what I mean? They still got a great team though. With him out, they still got a great team.
Oh yeah.
But the Heat's just better. He's just better.
Yeah, I guess I'll agree with you. I got the Heat. Should be a good one though. Should be a good one. The Kings or the Bulls?
Kings.
Bulls. The Suns or the Grizzlies?
Suns.
Grizzlies. And lastly, the Washington Wizards 3-game winning streak up against the Portland Trailblazers. I believe a 4 or 5-game winning streak. Yes, a 5-game winning streak.
I got the Blazers. You said against the Wizards? Yeah, no.
Still not gonna put their faith in them.
For some odd reason, I always now have game over these Russell Westbrook matchups. Trust me.
I got my faith in those two. That's Dame and Melo. And those guys. Miscounting Trent because and Nurkic he's out. Not Trent. Nurkic
CJ.
And CJ. So yeah, I had the
Blazers as well. That was highly disrespectful to CJ.
It was a mistake. All right, it was a mistake. CJ ain't that good anyway. Of course, a joke. We all know how good CJ is. Missing him, by the way, especially seeing him play. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. I believe he's slated to return early in March. But yeah. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
No, again, just let's hope that Doc don't blow that lead.
And we shall see. And by the way, quick note on that Bulls and Sixers game, the Sixers win. They did all of that, and Embiid scoring 50 out Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was hurt.
Wait,
that's just a little side note.
Too. Yeah, but real quickly though, isn't it a coincidence that a dude the dude who dropped 50, like it happened on the same night that two of the teams that he like did a 3-1 lead comeback on, like was playing against each other. Does that make sense?
So you talking about Doc?
Yes. We talking about Doc. We talking
Doc
about
and Jamal.
We talking about Doc and Jamal, man.
That is a little funny coincidence. I'm pretty sure Doc wants to forget that night.
Doc wants to forget that. The Clippers
in that series.
Yeah, the Clippers want to forget that series. The Jazz wish that they advanced.
So embarrassed. All right. Thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also follow IG down in the description below.
And once again, I am Evan.
And I'm Joe.
And this was My Basketball Podcast.